Hey y'all, so I am back in New York, safely from New Orleans for my Thanksgiving holiday. It feels good to be back. This was a long break from being in front of the camera. Anywho, I'm sure y'all enjoyed Pop Roast, but now to the mess, which is Potomac. We are almost at the season finale. This is episode 18, I want to say. And then next week, we also have the season premiere of Atlanta Housewives, and I will be reviewing that too. Woo! This month is going to be a lot of videos. A lot of good TV coming up. Anywho, let's get to the episode. So we open with a montage of what the wives are doing since they got back from Portugal, and now we're with Karen, who is prepping for her wig launch party. Now, thanks to the producers, we've seen that Karen's wig game has significantly improved since her first season. Woo, I remember those shifty wigs. You know what's funny? Shifty Wigs is the name of this episode. See, Housewives has the messiest producers I can imagine. So as she's discussing her wig line, we get a bunch of confessionals from the other wives like Giselle. But I mean, of course Giselle is a hater. And Giselle, how is your business doing right now? Do you have one? I don't think so. It's liquidated. Candace is throwing involuntary shade, and then Ashley's a shit stirrer, so I'm not surprised she's shading Karen as well. So next scene we're with Ashley, and she's meeting Monique for lunch. Now, I'm glad Monique is back. The hair and the wardrobe is on point, as always. Is Ashley gonna bring her white baby with her everywhere? Like, who's paying for childcare? They can't pay for child because she's basically bringing her baby to work. I get it, you know, I'm happy for her, but I'm just like, damn. So Monique is telling Ashley about the party she threw for her son, and Ashley couldn't make it because she was going through it with Michael again. But she says Karen actually made it to the party, and that's when Ashley's ears perk up. And Monique is saying that, oh yeah, we had a good lit time. Me and Karen were drinking, and then Ashley was like, oh, Karen was drinking? She wasn't drinking in Portugal. So what? You know, if she don't want to drink, she don't want to drink. And basically, she's trying to say that, oh yeah, Karen says she has some ulcer and she's lying about it. And now they're talking about Karen's wig line party coming up. So it turns out that Monique actually was invited to the party. She's just gonna come a little bit earlier before it starts. And then, you know, Ashley, like the shit stir, she was like, oh, well, in Portugal, it was asked, was Monique going to be invited? And Karen said no. So Monique says she didn't know this, but she's not really offended. But Ashley is trying to make it out to Monique like, oh yeah, she's trying to set you up. So then messy ass Ashley calls Karen on speakerphone to try to catch her in a lie in front of Monique. So she gets Karen on speakerphone and she brings up the party to her, and she's saying, oh, well, in Portugal, didn't you say Monique wasn't invited? She said, no, I told the ladies that Monique wasn't going because she didn't feel comfortable. I never said I didn't invite her, and you know, we know that's a lie. But Ashley needles her a little bit harder and says, well, didn't someone ask you point blank, was Monique invited? And you said no. And then Karen says, well, you know, I don't recall that. So Ashley then says, okay, girl, and tries to end the call. And then Karen says, well, you tried it, bye. And then Ashley's like, bye. And then it's awkward. She hangs up the phone on her. And Monique is just laughing. She's humored by it. She's not angry. That's why it's kind of funny to me. Like, why is Ashley trying to start something between Karen and Monique? Like, you on the wrong team, girl. Like, it's supposed to be the three of y'all. Like, I don't like this. And honestly, Monique is just like, it is what it is. But Ashley, girl, aren't you in your own mess right now with Candace? Like, why are you trying to like pit them two against each other? I don't get that. So next scene, we have Robin and Juan looking at a $1.6 million house. Now, just as I said that sentence, I was thinking, can they afford this? And you know, Robin already has a tax lien of $90,000. And she tells the confessional that, oh yeah, I'm on a payment plan right now. Is that wise? Y'all let me know. To have that big of a tax debt and then putting yourself in more debt buying a house that you probably can't afford. Y'all let me know in the comments if that's smart or not. Next up, we have Giselle, and she's going to lunch with her 3 daughters. She lets her girls know that Jamal, their father, is coming home for the holidays. And they're like, why? And then she says, oh, he's staying for a week. a week. Those girls do not like this man, and that's their father. I'm thinking like at that age, like, oh yeah, I want mom and dad to be back together. They don't give a fuck. Like, I believe like around the first season, they liked Giselle's boyfriend Sherman more than their own dad. And just the look of disgust on their faces are hysterical. I'm actually kind of embarrassed for Giselle right now. And they really don't want to talk about their dad right now at the table. They changed the subject too. Next, we have a very uncomfortable scene with Karen trying to be all sexy for Ray. Now, we see her like with the rose petals and putting that everywhere up the steps leading into the bathroom in a bubble bath. They show, well, they don't show her getting undressed, but they show her slip falling to the floor. Now, this is just a little bit cringe-worthy because I don't care. I don't want to see this. Now, I'm glad she's trying to spark up her intimacy with Ray, but I don't want to see this. And I'm thinking y'all don't want to hear me talk about this, so we're going to move on. Here we go with Dr. Wendy, or Wendy's. Like, pause. When Dustin Ross, shout out to Dustin Ross for calling Wendy Wendy's, as in Wendy's restaurant. So I might call her Wendy's from now on. So anywho, Wendy's is with her mom and this whole pumpkin patch thing, and I was kind of bored with this scene, so I'm gonna just give y'all the cliff notes on that. She basically told her mom that she wants to switch careers. Her mom says something along the lines of calling her a spoiled brat. Wendy's like, excuse me? And then I'm guessing she gets offended, like she's gonna cry. And then magically her mom is accepted now of her wanting to quit her job. And then they hug. I don't know. Fast forward. So we're back with Giselle and her daughters, and they're doing the photo shoot that she told them about in the last scene. And we find out Jamal is now not going to be a part of this photo shoot, embarrassing Giselle even further. And basically throughout this scene, she's trying to save face and pretend that nothing is wrong with that. Giselle even tells her hairdresser, like, I don't even know where he is. So she calls him on FaceTime, and this Negro is in the airport, relaxing, getting a manicure. Has no type of remorse for missing Giselle's photo shoot. He's like, I tried, you know, I put in an effort, but I just couldn't make it. So I'm in the airport and I'm giving me a manicure. I'm sorry. So yeah, you let me know when the photo shoot over and I'm gonna call you later. Giselle, I'm tired of this fake storyline. I really am. I really, really am. And he's making you look a damn fool. So next scene, we're at Ashley and Michael's place, and they're inviting over her uncle and her mom for dinner. I'm glad her mom doesn't have the eye patch anymore. How dare Ashley have her mom looking like that on TV, looking all crazy. Yeah, this scene is kind of boring like the pumpkin patch scene earlier. They're basically going to scrutinize him for cheating on Ashley at the table. And they're grilling him for being like, you know, a lying sack of shit, you know? But I'm just like, okay, Ashley is still with him. So apparently she's fine with it, and she's on baby number 2. So what's the point of this scene, really? And the whole time, the look on Michael's face is like, can we get this over with? And I feel the exact same way. So it's the night of Karen's wig launch. Monique shows up 30 minutes looking like wealth. And we hear from Monique that, you know, she's a little bothered by Karen lying, but she understands the position that she's in with the ladies and trying to just keep the peace with everybody. So she's not really pressed about it. Now, the producers are doing some stunting shows right now, trying to make it seem like Candace is about to walk in at any minute while Monique is there. So they kiki for a bit, have a glass of champagne. Karen is actually rushing her out a bit just to make sure there's no run-ins or anything. So Monique is like me. She grabs a glass, like, oh, at least let me get a glass to go, another one. That looked like some good champagne, the pink one. And this fake out is annoying. Like, they tried to make it seem like Candace was about to walk in, but it was just some random white woman. I don't like that. They hyped this episode up to make it seem like something wasn't going to happen. A classic misdirect. So Monique leaves, and then 2 minutes after, Robin and Ashley pulls up. I'm guessing they were keeping track of the time. I'm not sure if I believe that or not. And as soon as they walk in, here come Robin with the shade. Ooh, it's awfully small. And then we see her in her confessional throwing more shade. Now, Robin, Girl, I know you're not throwing shade with your made in China embezzlement hats. You're currently in $90,000 tax debt looking at houses that you can't afford. Now, really? Are we really trying to come for somebody? You throwing stones in your glass house, glass apartment. You really need to tend to your own garden. So Candace arrives to the party, and it seems like she could be in the same room with Ashley, but she still pays her dust. So Wendy arrives next, and then we see that Giselle isn't coming at all. And she really doesn't care, but the main reason she isn't going, because she has beef with Karen's business partner. And I'm guessing they were going back and forth on Twitter, or she saw that he was throwing shade at her on Twitter. So the event is going on, and Karen debuts her ad. The producers are being shady and filming everyone's reactions and also filming people that are on their phones not paying attention to her ad. And then we see from the confessionals that everyone has a problem with, I'm guessing, Karen putting her name on something when she's not like doing the wigs, like the guy's doing most of the work. But I don't get that shade because a lot of reality stars and celebrities slap their names on a product just so that person can sell their product. So it's a partnership. I don't get it. Like Sonia Morgan, like those clothes, she didn't make it. I think she just picks out the ones she likes. She ain't making them. She ain't designing them. And then with Kyle from Beverly Hills, Kyle, we saw last season that, she had a whole fashion line, but she didn't make the clothes. I think she just chose the ones that she liked. Anywho, they trying on wigs, and I gotta say, Candace actually looks good in this blonde wig. I like it. So here comes Ashley with the shits. She gives Karen a gift, and it turns out to be antacids for her ulcer that she said she had in Portugal, and say, oh yeah, I heard you was at Monique's party, drinking. And she brings that up in front of everybody, which then Robin tries to alley-oop with the shade and say, oh, why are you so afraid to drink in front of us, Karen? Are you afraid of what you might say when you're drunk? And that was a dig, y'all. And she did a dig in front of Karen's husband too. So then Karen comes back with the quickness and says, no, but you should be concerned what Juan does when he's drunk. And the reaction on everyone's face is priceless. It was just like, oh! Like, Robin didn't even see that shade coming. It shifted that wig she had on her head. Karen then excuses herself after that. So then Ashley continues the shit stir and tells all the ladies that Monique actually was invited to this event and she came in earlier. And then Karen comes back at the worst possible time while they're talking about this to show them her packaging. And then they're just like, girl, you hear what we talking about? Now, Karen did lie and we're reminded by the producers. And then she just said, at the end of the day, it's my party. I'm going to invite who I want to invite. Now, let me just take a pause and say, I'm pretty sure the reason why Karen lied was because if she told them that Monique was still going to come just before they go, they weren't going to come. And I'm sure Karen wanted to show her wig line on the show. And if none of the ladies went, then I'm sure they wouldn't have captured it on TV. So, okay, she fibbed a little bit. I don't know why Ashley is grinding that point. It's not that big of a deal. Monique isn't there, isn't she? So there's no problem. And then Karen responds, well, y'all said y'all would be uncomfortable with her around, and I care about y'all enough to not set y'all up. Is that okay with you? Are you good? And Robin's just like, well, who are you yelling at? Like, stop coming for Karen because you will get checked. Karen then thanks them for coming and leaves her own party. They're just like, well, where is she going? And Karen is over it. She doesn't like when she's being ganged up on. That's apparently the situation here. Now, this part doesn't make sense. Candace tells the other ladies that Karen invited her early to come, and now she's making it seem like she wanted her and Monique to cross paths. I don't believe that part. I don't believe that part at all. Lord, now here Wendy go on her soapbox again, like who's wrong and who's right about nothing that has to do with her, because she has no plot line, boring storyline. So they're all talking outside after Karen leaves, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Isn't Candace and Ashley beefing right now? They cool now because they both talking about Karen? So Ashley tells Candace, oh yeah, Monique didn't know you were gonna come. And actually, like, she wants Monique to come to these events so she can tell her side of the story, because right now it's being told for her. And I'm just like, well, Ashley, ain't that what you doing? Like, you did a whole character submission to help Monique in court. I just don't get it. It feels like she's throwing Karen under the bus and Ashley's looking like a piece of shit. What she's doing is she wants to fire off of her from the 4 women who are against Monique and put that all on Karen. That's wrong, isn't it? So after Candace gets this information, we see her in her confessional and she's saying, I can't believe this. Like, I look up to Karen. I can't believe she betrayed me. And here go the tears. And then the little dab that, she's in her confessional that she feels betrayed by Karen. Anywho, the episode ends with Wendy telling Candace that Karen is not your friend, girl. Now, just looking at this episode, I think this was a big misdirect. Like, the preview for this episode really painted it to be different. I still got the shade that I wanted thanks to Karen, but still, I'm disappointed by this. I am excited for the season finale, though. I see that Ashley is now in the hot seat again, and I have no sympathy for her at this point because of what she's doing to Karen. So yeah, I will see y'all next week for that, as well as the Atlanta series premiere. Bye.